Oh, that was cold. You know, I told you guys earlier on in the day that I remember a couple of nights driving at Woodbine. It could get really cold. The wind would be really strong at Woodbine. And a couple of times racing there, not a couple of times, it would happen all the time. Your hands and feet would freeze. And, you know, if you've been in the cold, then you know what that feels like when they start to thaw. It feels like they're on fire. And then you're good for the rest of the day. But that first race, that first freeze, it is a very painful endeavor to go through, I can tell you that. So we did have a good night tonight. We had 3 wins, a third and a fifth. Jason had a win also with his horse, and Tyler driving him. And Tyler Angus won 4 races tonight. So great job by Tyler. You know, cold or warm or otherwise, it is great to see young kids doing good in this industry, whether it's Hunter or, in this case, Tyler. A number of the younger kids just doing well. We need them to, right? We need younger people in our industry, and I had said this all along, that I just didn't feel that we had enough young kids on the go and trying to apply their trade as drivers, and it's certainly nice to see Tyler doing a good job. He's a good kid, and 4 wins regardless. As I said, hot, cold, wherever you're at, to win 4 races in one day, it's a great feeling, and you know, as I said, congratulations. You know, I actually went back and watched the qualifier from today because I had a couple of people say, hey, great job getting the horse around. He didn't feel like I was never worried at all. Now, I was there was some trepidation as we come out of the last turn because he's made breaks at Woodbine. He made a break on me in the qualifier halfway down the lane. So I did have, I was keeping an eye on him, right? I was on alert, so to speak, so I didn't push him at all in the last 8th. But you know, in a racing situation with a clean line coming in where I didn't really have to worry that much, I could have put him in gear, kicked the earplugs out in the last turn, really let him rock, and I think he would have been just fine. I think that was a great mile. It was freezing cold today. It just started to warm up. Today was colder than yesterday. When we were at the barn this morning, it was 1 degree Fahrenheit. When we pulled into the barn, we didn't jog any horses today. I did train Trevino. He was leaving as I was leaving, and I did train Trevino on green a little bit. I just wanted to make sure he was tight as he can be for Friday's race. And when we come back to the track this evening, before I went on the track for my first one, it was 13 degrees Fahrenheit. This is all before the wind chill, obviously. For sure, in the mid -20s today, Celsius, when I got to the barn, and then obviously a little warmer later on. But freezing cold the whole day. I was happy with Century Legion. He was safe. We'll have him in to go in the maiden next week. Now, getting into tonight, Irresistible Sun on the rail. I told you guys, Sonny would soften on you. And I talked to Aaron after the race. I don't think he realized who I had. I said, this is the guy that kind of hung up on you a couple of weeks ago. He'll do that sometimes. He's not a real ferocious fighter. He's a sprinter. And if you put him in a spot to win and you use him at the right time, he'll put them away. He'll get the job done. But he was thinking about doing the moonwalk halfway down the lane. I could tell it. I give him a couple of swats, and he just, he hung on to win the race. But that's a decent horse, double account on the inside. If I haven't driven him, I think I did for Randy Bendis. If I haven't, I've raced against him many, many times. And a nice, classy old horse. So it wasn't like we beat up on a bunch of poorer animals. These were decent horses tonight, and I was really happy to see Irresistible Sun, 1, get off the gate good, 2, trot good, and 3, finish off his meal and get the job done and get to the winner's circle. Very, very happy with him. Now, the next horse, I missed Yo Mister. I was talking to Stacy briefly. She said, hey, did you watch Yo Mister? I was just about to. I watched the replay, and yeah, he got a little lucky. A horse made a break in the last turn, but he's always really, if you have him in a position where you're in the 2-hole, if there's an opportunity to pass that horse, he usually gets it done, right? He's a decent horse, and as Stacy said, that was one of the fastest miles of the night, I believe, on the trot. And he looked very, very good in winning, and he held off a couple of horses. He could have given up. If he'd have been second or third, he'd be like, hey, he raced okay. He raced good to get the job done. So I was really happy with him. Then, as I said, Jason's horse, I didn't watch Jason's horse's race, but he won, wasn't claimed, so good by Jason and Tyler. And then we went out with Cadeau. I'm a little torn on Cadeau. I thought, does he need to build himself up and get a little stronger? Yes. I would like to see a little more raw grit in him. And when we come off the track, I said, oh, maybe he's slipping. He's got lots of cork on. He wasn't slipping, and he was trotting pretty good. I'd just like to see a little more pop from him. Right? It's his first start. You know, it's a freezing cold night. He was okay. I thought for sure he should have been fourth. He was just photoed out for fourth. But he raced okay. I was happy. I was happy that he got around, got a flat line, and it's something to work from, at least. I'm not going to make any judgment. I'm going to pass any judgment on this horse until he's got 2, 3, 4 starts in him. If his fourth start looks like today's start, well, we'll have a different conversation. But today is start 1. And then Lover's Play finished off not just the night, but for herself, but her career. She's going to be a broodmare now. It's January the 20th. Breeding season starts in 3 weeks. You know, we'll get her into Jacobs right away, and I assume they get her under the lights or whatever the hell they do. Not really a breeding expert. But she'll go out there. I have an idea who I want to breed her to, but I got to circle back with both Steve and Alan and Jacob to say, hey, I have a couple of breedings to International Money, and I love International Money. I don't really know yet who's the best cross for her, and whatever the pedigree gurus say is the direction we'll take. But for right now, I think that's a wrap on Lover's Play. And you know, to think back, I'll never forget how she looked when she came back from the vet clinic, and how sickly she looked, and how she had to fight tooth and nail, to survive. And then the idea at that time that she would ever race again was ludicrous to me. But for her to fight back, become the horse, race, take a mark of 58, do good, all knowing her history, I could not put her in a place to have a foal of hers. You couldn't be any tougher than this horse, and I'm really excited to see what her foals look like. So Lover's Play is going to go be a broodmare now. That's a wrap on her. I left the track with a smile. Sure, I wanted to win, but she raced as good as she could. And then Tenacious Hanover, I really didn't know what to think. He's not the toughest horse, generally speaking. He hasn't shown a lot of fight. Anytime he's won, he was always in a position where he should win. If you paused every video he's won for us, if you paused it at the head of lane and say, okay, the start he knifed through. If the Red Sea parts and everybody slows down, you should win. You know, if you peel off cover, you should win. All those starts that he won for us, not all, 2, maybe 3, 2 I think, before tonight. Those starts, he was supposed to win, right? And there were starts where he should have probably got a little closer, and he didn't. He's never really shown me a lot of grit. And it's always been a point of contention with me, a little frustration with me, that he's never shown that grit. He did tonight. I'll tell you what, that was a hard track, a windy night, and I knew that the front end was not holding up all night long. But I wanted to put Aaron and Tyler's horse into a little deeper water. If I could. I mean, I might have been putting myself in it. But I knew as we got into the first turn, Tenacious Hanover was better tonight. Remember, there was a race maybe 4 or 5 races ago I left with him, and he stuck them in the first turn. He made a break. Now, I made sure there was nobody around me. Going into the first turn, I was, hung out 3 wide. I was hung 3 wide going around the first turn. It was inevitable. I could see Tyler was going to have to release Aaron, and Aaron was likely going to have to release me. What took place after that, I didn't know. Historically speaking, I was in trouble. But I just didn't see a way I'd be worse than 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. Leaving the 1 and 4 alone to their own devices on the front end, I didn't see me being better than 3rd anyway. What do I got to lose? Cleared to the front, and I knew as soon as I cleared to the front, he was better tonight. This is through wind and on a hard track, and in the turn, especially the far turn, down along the rail was deep. There was a little snow in there. It was starting to drift a bit. So you had to stay out a little bit. And I knew that, as I said, the front end was not holding up tonight. But he just felt that good. And I could never, there's lots of times I'll say to you, I knew I was a winner at the quarter pole, or I thought I was a winner, whatever. At no point did I think I was a winner. Even when we come out of the last turn, Tenacious Hanover, I said, that guy's probably going to run me down. I still got Aaron here. I don't know he dug in, and he raced his ass off right to the wire. That was, in a year, 6 months, and 3 months, you're going to look at all his lines, and you're not going to realize this. but that was the best race he has ever gone for us. I don't care about the speed. You have no idea how bitterly cold it was tonight. You might see a number on the screen, but that may not register in reality for you. It was bitterly cold tonight, and a howling wind. The front end was not holding up, and this horse was rimmed 3 wide around the first turn, cleared to the front, and won in 58 last half and 59 and 2. That was a hell of a mile. And what I would like to say is a watershed moment for this horse. I said, Jason goes, you got to start moving up soon. I said, Jason, if you can keep this horse this good, it's not going to matter. I'm not telling you he's going to go to the Open or anything, but he's going to be able to compete in that non-winners of 4 to 7. I was not certain of that before tonight. Jason can keep him as good as he was tonight. He'll be able to compete in the non-winners of 4 to 7. I'm certain of that. So a good night at the office, as I said, 3 wins, a third and a fifth. Jason's horse won. Grand slam for Tyler. It was a good day at the burn. Good day at the office. Tomorrow I'm going to get up. I'm going to go and qualify Spitfire overseas. They moved the qualifiers to 11:30 in the morning before the races on Thursday. I'm going to qualify him. Then I'm going to go out and race Memory and Imagination. I think I got a catch drive in like the 5th, and then I'm off. Done for the day. I'm going to get home. I talked to Jody briefly about dancing by myself, but quite frankly, I said, Jody, talk to Tyler Jones. He schooled him in 2-2 or whatever. He's bumpy, but he's as good as we can have him right now. Dominic thinks he's good. He's not great. He's not going to look pretty. He is going to be a little rickety, but he's as good as we can have him right now, and he wants to work through it. But talk to Tyler about what he did in the schooler. Dominic, I believe, the shoes we have on him, the equipment we have on him, I'm fairly confident saying he's as good as we can have him right now. I'd like to see him go out and put a good effort in on Thursday night, but I have no idea what's going to happen. None. So we're all going to watch it together tomorrow on Thursday evening. Friday, we got Trevino on green, International Man, Tech Song, Soprano. All these horses are bet down. Trevino on green trained good today. I'm very curious how he's going to race on Friday. And then Chevron's Bypass also is bet down. Vehement's in a good spot. No, I didn't want to go over to the Meadows to drive one horse in an early race on Saturday. I'd like to train the babies here. If he was in the 7th race, maybe I'd take my time and go over, but he's not. He's in the 1st race. So there was no way I could go over there and drive that horse if we're going to train the babies on Saturday. Aaron's driven his last 2, actually, so he knows the horse. He's going to be a little bit short, but he's in a good spot. Neptune racing in Mohawk on Saturday night. The races were canceled last week. He is admittedly going to be a little bit short. His first start back, but I'm intrigued to see how he's going to do. Sunday is going to be a great day for us, I hope. I have no idea what's going to happen, but Save America is going to race at the Open in Miami Valley. Greatest Ending is going to race also. And Sunday evening, not on the calendar yet, but Sunday evening, Time is on My Side is going to make his return to Northfield Park. The Open did not fill to Meadows. They wouldn't let him in the Open 2 at Miami Valley. Can't blame them for that. But he is going to make his return to Northfield Park. 6-hole in a 7-horse field, an open handicap. Looks like he's in a good spot. Very eager to race him on Sunday night. So we're off to a good start after a frigid beginning to the week. Wednesday night was a success. Hopefully we can keep it going through the rest of the week. I hope you guys had fun watching tonight. All my partners, I hope you had a great night. We did at the office. And I hope we have a great rest, as I said, a great rest of the week. Take care. I'll talk to you tomorrow at some point. Ooh.